Good evening, everybody. I would like to call to order the August 27th, 2025 regular meeting of the Monee Village Board of Trustees. It is 6:32. If I can please ask Pastor Joe DeCenzo up for the invocation.
Well, good evening, everyone. On behalf of St. Boniface and St. Paul's, New Hope, Family of Faith, and Second Place churches, we want to warmly invite you all to have church on September 7th at a community-wide service under the big tent and part of the Fall Fest schedule. And so you'll get a taste of the different churches and see what everything is like. And so we'd love to see as many people from the community there as possible. It's an easy spot to find. And so let's pray. Heavenly Father, Lord, we love you. And Jesus, you are our example. Lord, when you were with us, Lord, you said that all power and authority under heaven has been given to you. And then you stooped down and you washed the feet of your disciples. Lord, help us remember tonight that the greatest leader that has ever walked this earth actually said that if you want to be great in this world, you must become least. And so, Lord, I pray that as leaders, as administrators, as those elected, as those appointed, and as a community, as the public, Lord, that we would recall and remember this, that we're not here to be served, but we're here to serve. And so as we do that, Lord, I pray that we would rise up and we would stand for those who cannot stand for themselves, speak up for those who cannot speak, and Lord, to truly sense and discern and know what your heart is for Monee. And Lord, as we do, Lord, we're thankful for the amazing work that's being done. And we thank you for this meeting tonight. We pray, Lord, that your spirit would be very evident, would guide and direct everything that happens. And ultimately, Lord, we just pray that Monee would be a great place to live, work, raise a family, play, and truly even worship you. We thank you for all this in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Here.
Trustee Henson.
Present.
Trustee Horn.
Here.
Trustee Rakes.
Present.
Trustee Wilson.
Present.
Trustee Udris.
Present.
Thank you. Can I please have a motion to open the public hearing regarding TIF 5?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Rakes.
Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Udris.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes. Thank you. I would like to now please invite Mr. Ayus up to give us a little explanation of what's going on here.
All right, sorry about that. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay, can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm gonna just kind of lean then, I guess. My name's Pete. I'm from Tesca Associates. We are the village's TIF consultant for probably the last 10, 15 years or so. This is the public hearing tonight for the proposed amendment to the existing Monee TIF number 5, and I've just got a couple of slides I'm going to run through, and then I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody might have. So first, just for some background, the existing TIF number 5, it's currently in place. It was adopted in 2017, so the TIF has been in place for about 8 years now. It's thus far been a very successful TIF. It's helped the village in recruiting numerous businesses and improving businesses within the village for the last 8 years. Just for those of you, and perhaps those of you in the audience who aren't super familiar with what TIF is, It's basically just an economic development tool. It allows the village to use increases in property taxes to help fund potential redevelopment costs for new development within the village. The village's proposal tonight is pretty simple. Like I said, the TIF is currently in place, and what the village is proposing to do is just add some additional parcels into the existing TIF district. So I'm just going to run through what those areas are, and then I'm happy to answer any questions. But first, just like I said, this looks a lot more complicated than it is, but this just kind of explains how TIF works. Basically, we're allowing the village to capture increases in property taxes from the base level, and that base level would be essentially the value of properties at the time the TIF was established, which was in 2017. So that 2017 EAVs are the base level, so all of the taxing districts, the village, the school, everybody, that's what they continue to get their revenue from. And then any increase from that base 2017 level is what gets diverted into the TIF, which then you guys can use for eligible redevelopment costs. So here's a map of the existing TIF district. Those circled areas are the 4 areas that the village is proposing to add into the current TIF. So I'm going to run through those real quick, and then we'll take any questions that you might have. Area 1 here is down on the south end of the village, off of Governor's Highway, just north of Industrial Drive. There's 9 parcels down there. It was previously in another TIF that the village had adopted, which has expired or is about to expire. And so the village is proposing to then put those into the current TIF number 5. These parcels are mostly vacant, undeveloped. There is in the back there, that's where that cooperage business is. That's the area that we're talking about there. The second area is located on Emerald Parkway, west of I-55. This is just one parcel. This was previously included in the village's TIF number 3, which again has recently expired or is about to expire. And all of those parcels are going to be removed from the TIF, except the village is proposing just to include this one additional parcel into the TIF number 5. It's pretty much vacant. There's a couple of just like little out accessory buildings that are on there. But that property owner needs this piece to do whatever it is that they're planning to do. So the village is proposing to include just that one parcel into the TIF. The third area is up on the north end, right off of Monee Manhattan Road and Central Avenue, which is that Governor's Highway going south and Central Avenue going north? Okay. There's 20 parcels there. These were primarily single-family homes. There was a couple of, right on Monee, Manhattan, of the older homes that had over time converted into a couple of small businesses. These properties are not in the village of Monee. So the village is in the process now, I'm sure you guys are all aware, of acquiring these properties. Most of them looks like they're getting demoed already. At least a couple of them have started. And so the village is proposing to add those areas into the TIF. You guys, I know, have having discussions with staff. You're in the process of still acquiring some of them, and then you've got to annex those in. So just be aware, nothing can be put into the TIF until they have to be annexed into the village first, so that it has to go in that order. So once that is accomplished, then those properties can go into the TIF as well. And then the final area, this is basically undeveloped land on Monee Manhattan Road, just north of the Amazon facility. It's 2 parcels of undeveloped property. There's some significant flooding, and I showed a picture of one of them there on that property. So hopefully the TIF can be utilized to address some of those flooding issues to allow that property to be redeveloped. Again, this one is not in the village, so that's got to be annexed into the village first. So that's how the timing has to go. So those are the 4 areas that the village is proposing to annex into, or to include into the existing TIF number 5. A lot of you guys might have got letters just because you either own property in the existing TIF or anyone actually who lives within 750 feet of that boundary, and you can see it's a pretty large area. So you might have just got a letter just because you happen to live close. So what the village is proposing isn't really going to affect anyone, even if you're already in the TIF. Like I said, the TIF's already in place. All the village is proposing to do is to add some more parcels. And then finally, just a couple more slides. This is, now you're not going to be able to see that, but this is just a summary of the eligibility. Essentially what I did was there's a big report that's on file with the village. If anyone wants to see the report, it's on file, I believe, at the clerk's office. But per the TIF Act, we have to make sure that all of those 4 areas qualified to be included in the TIF. So there's a big 30-something page report where I went through all of these criteria on each one of those areas. I looked at each area individually to see if they qualified individually, and then I looked at it as a whole. So if for any reason, there was an area that you didn't want to do, or each one of them actually technically qualifies on their own, and they all qualify together. So that's just a summary. If anyone wants to see the details, I'm happy to answer any specific questions. Or like I said, there's a big report on file where you can, I went through all the criteria in depth with maps and photos and everything. And then finally, this is kind of the end stage of amending the TIF. Like I said, we notified a ton of people. We notified by certified letter all of the property owners in the existing TIF, these proposed parcels that are coming in, and then everybody who lives within 750 feet. So probably just about everybody in the village got some type of a letter. We also had a joint review board. This is the meeting with the affected taxing districts. So like I said, increases in property taxes are what goes into the TIF fund. So primarily it's the taxing districts who would normally get those revenues that are affected. So we had a meeting with the actually had 2, I think, joint review board meetings with the taxing districts to get all their comments, any comments they had, any questions. They did vote in favor of, they're a recommending body to this village board, so they recommended that the village board go ahead and approve the amendment to include those parcels. We're not asking you to do anything tonight. This is just a hearing to take any questions that you guys might have and any questions from the public. So we're not asking you to do anything tonight. This is just an informational public hearing. You can act on the amendment. Like I said, you've got to get those annexations in place before you can technically act. So you have up to 90 days from the close of the public hearing to act. So it's pretty simple. Like I said, the TIF's in place. We're just proposing to add a couple parcels in a couple of different areas into the TIF. So I am happy to answer any questions that anyone might have.
Thank you very much, Pete. Board, do you have any questions for Pete before I turn it over to the public?
Yeah, actually, the first question that I'd like to ask is, when it comes to TIFs and payouts for TIFs, can you talk a little bit about what kind of stuff is covered, and reimbursable under TIFs?
Sure.
For me specifically, the one that I have, I remember seeing one come through where tools were actually part of that, and I was surprised to see that tools were actually included on that list that was being reimbursed.
Yeah, that sounds like I didn't see that, so I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. But the TIF Act is super clear on what are eligible costs, what you're allowed to spend that money on. Primarily, it's for infrastructure costs, new sewer lines, water lines, redoing the roads, those types of things. rehab or rehabilitation of deteriorating buildings, so, fixing up deteriorated or dilapidated properties, property acquisition, demo of dilapidated structures. The big kind of there's two kind of big cutoffs, and one I'll hit your point directly. Primarily, it's for rehabbing infrastructure costs or rehabbing existing buildings. You can't use the money to directly fund new construction of a new building. So like for the Amazon, you could use it to acquire the property and do the infrastructure, but you can't give them money to actually construct a new building.
Right, to actually build the building since it's a new
Right.
construction.
You give it to them to rehab an old building, but you can't give it to them to build a new building.
And does it cover costs for interior as well as exterior, or strictly?
Interior or exterior rehabilitation, but the term we use is leasehold improvements. So like tools, I would say no.
Okay.
Anything that I can take with me if I leave the building, you shouldn't be paying for that through TIF. It should be for the actual rehab, the actual structure. So you could do if you needed to replace the air conditioning condenser on the roof or whatever, you could do that, but like a window air conditioner unit that I could just take with me, you can't do that. That's kind of a cutoff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. And then if you could also talk about sprinkler systems, fire sprinkler systems, and when they're covered under TIF and when they're not.
Yeah, that would definitely be included under rehab of the structure, and one of the actual eligibility criteria for qualifying for a TIF involves safety.
Right.
And fire safety would definitely be included.
Definitely. Thank you.
I also have I don't know if it's a question or more of an inquiry. In a TIF fund, something like that of that magnitude, I guess my question is, I've been told that as long as one original wall remains, it's okay to apply TIF funds to a building in that situation, but it's built off of one wall. Is that accurate?
I've never heard that. That sounds like a stretch personally to me. If they demoed the whole building and there was just one wall left and you wanted to use, there's definitely things that you could use TIF for in that case, but the actual constructing a new building around a single remaining wall, I think.
And foundation was the premises is why I'm asking the question.
I'd be hesitant to, that doesn't sound eligible to me, but I would run that by your attorney to double check on that. I'd need to see more detail on exactly what's left and what exactly they're asking for funding for. It seems on the edge to me.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Michael. So I guess just one very specific and one not so specific, but just as a comment. So the folks too, you talk about TIF eligible funding, and what it is we're not giving away the bank or anything. And Mike showed a really good chart of what is eligible and covered. And so this, that anybody says that they're not paying taxes, they're not paying taxes, but they are eligible to receive these monies back, when they make very eligible improvements. And our TIF districts have been obviously scrutinized for decades, to try to make sure that we are improving our village. And then on to very specific question about the parcels shown. So if you could go back to the pink one up there, and you say north of Amazon, please can you describe that a little more? I thought it would be south of Amazon.
I think it's north.
Because if I'm
Can you
thinking,
show the bigger map? Yeah, go back. Okay.
Isn't Amazon just south of that circle?
I can answer that. So Trustee Gonzalez, this is the parcel directly north of Amazon. It's not in the village. It was formerly owned, I believe, by Magnus, the Magnus family. So it's next to the Seafried parcel, So if you picture Seafried, where Reynolds Wrap is currently located, correct. So it's west of Ridgeland and then north on, correct.
And then just to touch on your first comment, I'm sure you guys are familiar, but just for the benefit of the audience, if you were going to give out any TIF incentive to a property owner, I would come to you. I don't own any property, so not really me, but I would come to you and we would work out a redevelopment agreement where I would demonstrate what exactly I'm going to do to improve my property. That would then increase the value of that property, and then my investment increases the value of property, which increases the amount of tax revenue coming in, and then just that increment. So typically, these are evaluated on a case-by-case basis, and I would have to increase the value, and you'd basically be rebating back some of my property taxes to pay for some of those costs that I incurred up front that I wouldn't have incurred up front without that incentive.
And I think that's too what a lot of folks, the math, the complex math equations that goes into these TIF agreements and things and redevelopment agreements. I just want everybody to understand, who isn't part of that math problem, to kind of understand it a little bit more and how it actually works.
Can you go back to the TIF one? Believe it was
Which one?
Area 1, yeah.
Area 1? This one?
Yeah, it was a different slide, though. Okay, there it is. I believe it was just a typo. It says west of I-55. It should be 57.
57, yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to just kind of bother. Just clarification, that's all.
I
Just
make
make
that
sure.
mistake. I drive on 55 every day, and it's just in my head. I'm sorry. That's
No, it just so we're all on the same page.
Yes, it's definitely 57.
Mayor, could I get a copy of this sent to my email?
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, then, Pete, if you don't mind, then any public input? Anybody have any questions? Hi.
Hey, Linda Marisek. I live on the west side of 57. My question for you is, you keep saying increase to taxes in village. What does that mean? What gets increased in taxes? People's homes, property taxes?
So basically how the TIF works is we're trying to encourage people to invest in their property. So if say I have a piece of property and it's assessed at $100,000 just to make round numbers, and I'm paying like 10%, so I'm paying $10,000 in property taxes every year. If I invest a bunch of money in my property, do a big addition or whatever, and I increase the value of my property, so now my assessed value is $150,000 instead of $100,000.
Okay.
So now I'm paying $15,000 in property taxes instead of $10,000.
What if my property is already improved, but yet my taxes keep going up anyway, and now you're bringing a TIF in, and now my taxes are going to go up even more?
No,
the
it's-
TIF does not affect your assessed value.
No.
It does not affect your property tax rate. It's just, once you pay your properties, if you look at your property tax bill, there's a list of everybody who gets a piece of it. The village, the county, the township, the school district, the fire district, everybody, has a line item on there. The TIF is an extra line item on your tax bill. It doesn't affect how much you're paying. What it affects is once you pay your property taxes, where does that money go? And so any increase from that baseline of 2017 goes into the TIF fund.
So because property is being improved, are they going to be paying as much taxes as I am?
Well, if somebody improves their property, they're going to pay more taxes because their property value is
So
worth more.
if these properties are empty and you're going to put a building on them, the building will be paying taxes for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, Linda, it's more like the business, okay? So like
Yeah.
you say, you take a blank piece of land. So let's say, again, round numbers, it's valued at $20,000, so you're paying taxes on $20,000. Now you put in a huge building, so now the property taxes, since that's improved, Now, the property taxes on that particular building is now going to be $100,000. So the TIF starts where it's valued at the 20,000, then it's improved, so then that increase from the 20 to the 80 is what, or the 20 to the 100 is what goes into the TIF fund.
Okay.
So it's got nothing to do with like people's taxes, it's strictly the taxes in that area, in that TIF area, from basically taking it to nothing to bring in the business and develop it and get it to something where it's going to increase the tax of that area.
Well, how does it work there with the building coming in? Now, the building's valued higher, and it pays higher taxes, and my house is next to it. Is mine gonna be assessed more because
No.
it's
No.
next to a more expensive building?
No,
No.
no, not at all.
Commercial.
Property where that building, as that building goes in, value for that land goes up, they're paying more taxes, but that percentage of the tax is getting used in, for improvements. It's kind of going back to that owner getting to do more, rather than getting dispersed to the schools and the fire department and the library and everything else. That's going to get dispersed at that lower amount that the land was originally, right? Yeah, that's it.
So even if you're right next door, your taxes are not affected, only
Commercial.
the, even if, you, say a neighbor of yours has one of these, properties that need to be improvements or whatever, that almost condemned kind of stuff, somebody bought it and is now turning it over. Some of those expenses that new person is putting in would be TIF eligible, as we talked about, like the churches and things, that if they make improvements or whatever, or Amazon, that those are TIF eligible expenses, but does not affect your property values, your taxes at all, other than a nicer building coming in next door to you.
Yeah, because that's why I'm asking for, because they just put a new house in next door, and my property's tax went up 10.5%. Because their house was built during COVID, which everything, piece of plywood was normally $5, was $25. So it made the price of the house go up, so they raised the property taxes of the whole neighborhood.
Unfortunately, all of us, it was our reassessment year, so all of ours went up, so it wasn't very specifically yours or what that person did next door, all of ours.
And then that too is more of a Will County assessor
Assessor.
issue, because they're the ones that make the determinations for that.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
certainly looking at comparable houses and they have
Right.
that formula on how they do that. So yeah, if your next door neighbor built a nice big new house, that certainly could.
Well, that's why I'm asking about this building
Yeah.
going up. It's gonna be a big, nice building, and then,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
But,
by my house, I wanna
A new
know.
industrial building in the general area shouldn't affect your assessed value. If all your neighbors built new houses, then they started running comps, that could.
Yeah.
But the TIF is focused primarily on industrial.
And also, just Linda, the district that's directly affecting those properties, those commercial properties, at their tax base or value. So undeveloped, let's say Amazon pre-development, that really, single digits, you're talking about single digits for property tax. Once you develop and it becomes more equitable, now it's your property the commercial property tax base in the district goes up. So, but there's that sweet spot in the middle that they put the funds, the difference between the assessed value at undeveloped and developed property, and they take that medium and they put it in a coffer, and that's what we get to utilize to put back into the economy and stimulate growth. So it's like money growing itself within the taxing bodies also, but it doesn't affect residential in that area because it's commercially based. So off that tax district, so that you have to look at the district. It doesn't affect only that district. In that district, all of these are residential, commercial. We do have one on M&M that has some residential properties that we're now acquiring and going to be eliminated or redeveloped and at a different or repurposed. So we have to look inside that district, because that's what it's directly affecting. Any property within that in that district it's established. And correct me if I'm wrong. So it doesn't encompass the whole village, just those districts that are identified.
I see the town growing, but I see to be growing more with businesses than people? Or are we having anywhere we're gonna be building more houses for people rather than warehouses?
Sure, absolutely, and that's something too, but we can't utilize TIF funds for that, so we have to bring developers in, we have to acquire property and make it more equitable for developers to come in and say, hey, yeah, where's the space, what would you like? And we've identified a couple of areas that we would like to see more rooftops also. We don't want to put ourselves in a situation where we get landlocked either, but we're focusing on getting the growth, the economic. We're a food desert, and it's obvious, but we're getting to the point where we're getting looks and attention, and we're eventually one day going to have a grocery store. And that's going to open up a plethora of other opportunities, and we're going to need more rooftops. And developers are going to say, I want to build in Monee.
But
So.
we don't have the rooftops now to get the grocery store. We've got the warehouse rooftops, but we don't have the
With-
people
but with the-
warehouses. I've been here for 27 years. When I moved in, it was like 2,000 people. I did a census check last night. There's only 5,100 people here. Wow, 27 years and we only grew that much?
But the transient population, so
But
during the day, we
the
double
Warehouses have
now.
grown.
And they bring in the transient population that are utilizing the gas stations, the restaurants and businesses. And
Where's the people?
we have to capture that 24/7, so you need the hotels. When you look, grocery stores, you don't choose them, they choose you. And they don't take an L. They
Well,
don't.
we don't have the people for a grocery store. Nobody's gonna come.
We're getting there.
Gotta get some
We are
people.
with the transient population and also with our rooftops. I think we're getting there.
We've gotta build the houses, save the land for the houses.
We've identified
Get
some.
enough warehouses.
Yeah.
Welcome to our world.
Yeah.
Trust me, I live behind Amazon, I know. Yeah, all right, well, thank you very much for answering my questions.
Thank you, Linda.
So correct me if I'm wrong, in a nutshell, basically with the different taxing bodies, as those different taxing bodies go up, TIP allows us to keep some of that money for Monee to help build and help make Monee bigger and to incentivize businesses to come here, and we keep some of the money from the other taxing bodies also as they go up.
Right, so
Okay.
the idea being, it's a limited
It's a
term.
way also of Monee keeping the money here in Monee and shopping
Right,
Monee.
you're diverting those increases from new development, you're diverting that to help pay for some of that stuff that wouldn't have happened if you didn't have the incentive. And so all the taxing districts are kind of agreeing to, we're gonna forego those short-term increases to incentivize the development so that all the taxing districts at the end of the TIF, when it expires, can benefit from all of these new, the Amazon and all the new development that comes in ideally. And your TIF is working very well, so you're actually bringing in a lot of new, as the last commenter said. So all the taxing districts will benefit from that, but it's going to be a couple of years for that to happen.
And
Long
also, if somebody comes in and they build, and they use TIF, they receive TIF money, they can sell their business or sell their building after that to someone? Or how does that,
Well, you work out
after you receive the
work out a
TIF?
redevelopment agreement with them, spelling out exactly what they're going to do and what you're willing to reimburse them for, and then essentially as that increment comes in, typically Larry can speak to this, they're reimbursed over time as that increment comes in, and that'll all be worked.
I understand that, but I mean, the original person that receives the TIF does everything in the redevelopment, but then they get the TIF and they get all their money, the TIF money reimbursed, then they can sell that?
Yeah, it depends how you work
Okay.
out the redevelopment agreement, but yeah, it's just, you want to be careful. I've seen a couple of cases where people weren't careful enough.
That's what I was
And
asking
given
about.
out- You gave all the TIF money up front, and then the guy just didn't do the improvements and bolts. So you got to work all that out in the TIF agreement. Larry knows what he's doing, so that won't happen.
If it's in there or what,
Yeah,
okay.
but that's all worked out in the agreement, exactly what he has to do and when he gets his money, and how that works.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Sure.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Roberto. Sorry if you don't understand my English. Okay.
I understand. You're good.
Okay. My question is, I am the owner of the first area. I have four lands in this area. My question is, what do you want to do with my property? That's my question, because I have to contract with the engineer. I am looking to make a workshop, and I am looking to make parking lot for trailer parking lot.
Where's your property at?
In the first area.
In there?
Right here.
Okay, so,
Right there.
okay, so the village isn't proposing to take your property or anything? This is a potential, and I don't speak for the village, so I can't offer you anything, but this is a potential incentive that the village could provide to you to help you do those improvements. So if there's something that you're planning on doing, this is a potential incentive they can give you. I would reach out to the village and talk to them and see if there's, because if you're planning on constructing anything there, you could potentially, and again, I don't speak for the village, but you could potentially receive some incentive to help pay for some of those costs. So this would be a huge benefit for you if you're planning to construct something.
Pete, if I can interrupt, what we can do is we can speak offline in our office so we can explain and we can look into your property, the location. And I'm going to ask Bill if you can give him a business card and then just set up an appointment. So this gentleman here in the back is our economic development director. He's going to give you his name and a phone number, and then we'll set up a meeting, and then we could talk at length about this.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
But also
This would
basically,
definitely be a benefit for you.
basically them having that property added into there could help you in the future if you want to develop.
What's that? Well, that base level continues to go to all the taxing districts. Just if somebody invests in their property and the taxes go up, the increase goes into the TIF fund, but the base level continues to go to the school, the fire district, everybody. So there, yes, the school districts are sacrificing the short-term increases, but then they'll benefit on the back end once all the development is in place. And everybody will get the higher rate. That's the idea.
All right, if there are no other questions for Mr. Ayus, then I would please, Board, if I could have a motion to continue the public hearing until the September 10th board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
And roll call, please.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Rakis.
Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Udras.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez. Yes. Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, open to the public, agenda items only. Okay. Can I have a motion, please, to accept the consent agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Rakis.
Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Udras.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to my report. Now, on to the crew awards, which I don't know if will be nearly as exciting as what we just went through, but I will try my best. So, CREW is an acronym that defines an employee who provides exemplary work. CREW, C-R-E-W, represents credibility, respect, equality, fellowship, identity, and work, commitment, personal performance. The semi-annual CREW employees have shown in many ways that they go the extra mile to serve the village both in their attitude and performance. The semi-annual CREW employees are an integral part of the CREW in how they approach the people they encounter and the work that they perform. The CREW Award is issued semi-annually, and now it is time for us to recognize our CREW Award winners for the first half of 2025. Our CREW recipients are, in Economic Development, Rachel Beckman; In Parks and Recreation, Allison Chin. In Public Works, Terrell Hester Mason, Kevin Marrero, and Megan Schneider. And for the Police Department, Michael Schreffler. So now I would ask the trustee of whose department you have to please read about our recipients. If you jump right in, go ahead.
Okay. I'm representing the Public Works Department, of course. First up is Kevin Marrero. He's a superstar employee of the Water Department. He's always on time and hits the ground running on his tasks of the day. He's usually the last to leave for the day. Kevin always gives the ultimate respect to residents and fellow employees. His tasks throughout the day change, and you can always call him and hear no problem. Never have I had him say no. Kevin is always very busy learning new water tasks. We are proud to say he will be going to try to pass the water test again, and he's not given up, and that's a hard test. We see a huge future for Kevin in our water department. And then Megan Schneider, she's been taking Public Works by the proverbial horns. She is always on time, and if needed, she offers to stay late. She has taken on the tasks at hand with no problem. She is always there to learn new things and always there to help. There was never a time she was not willing to pitch in all the tasks at hand. You can find Megan working hard in a prairie to pulling weeds if needed. Her coworkers have the most respect for her because she is always also has the most respect for their hard work the Public Works does every day. We're very excited for the future of Megan with the Village of Monee. And last but not least, Terrell Hester Mason. He's always on time, ready for work. We never have a problem with him complaining about getting a job done. His work performance is outstanding. If there's something new to learn, you'll find Terrell trying it or studying to complete the tests or tasks at hand. He will stay late to get the projects done correctly. He's a very respectful employee to managers and coworkers, even if he does not agree. He will speak his voice, but in a very calm manner. You'll never find Terrell shouting or being pushy or even being lazy to get a job or task done. You'll always hear him say, "Thank you, I appreciate you." Terrell is very committed to Public Works and working very hard at whatever the day brings. I've never had one complaint about working with him. If anything, they all would like to work with him on their tasks for the day. I see a big future with Terrell's hard work in the Monee Public Works Department. Okay.
All right.
Oh, I'm good.
Let me do one more, I'm sorry.
No bunny ears, Doug.
Okay, thank you.
You guys did good?
Appreciate it, thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay, next up for Parks and Recreation is Allison Chin. Allison consistently goes above and beyond to get things done and support those around her. She has a sharp eye for detail and is always quick to jump in and correct anything that may have been missed. Her willingness to lend a hand at events and her positive attitude have made her a familiar and welcome face to our residents and are always happy to see her. Allison never hesitates to pause her own work to help someone else. Her background in graphic design has led to the creation of some of our most creative and eye-catching advertisements, giving our marketing a fresh and engaging look. In addition to her design skills, Allison is always on the move, whether it's opening buildings for programs or assisting those who need access. She's also incredibly attentive and protective of the village building, for real. Quickly noticing anything out of place. We are very fortunate to have Allison as part of the Village of Monee staff. Her dedication, creativity, and reliability make a lasting impact every day. Allison never put up a fight to do a task for the Village of Monee Parks Department. Over the years, you can always count on Allison to know what's going and step up to make sure programs and events have run smoothly, and step up to help other departments from the village hall to police station when needed. She always has a smile and gives the ultimate respect to all her coworkers and the residents of Monee. And to add my own 2 cents worth too, Allison has been here since she's been a teenager and knows this village and it's the way it runs like the back of her hand. And she never fails to show up for an event to lend a helping hand. So, Allison, congratulations.
Okay. The Police Department recommends Officer Michael Schruffler for the semi-annual 2025 Crew Award. Officer Schruffler has been with Monee PD since January of 2021. He spent his career at Monee PD in the Patrol Division and has worked all 3 shifts equally since joining us. He's a former correctional officer and a 10-year veteran of the Kankakee Police Department. Officer Schruffler brought a wealth of knowledge and experience with him. He's been a strong addition since day one. He's quick to volunteer and needs no supervision in handling any incident that arises. He's often sought out by other officers for guidance and expertise. Mike is also a volunteer member of the state's emergency response team and is recently deployed to the Republican National Convention. Mike is a quiet leader. He treats the public in a professional manner that brings credit to the department and the village. Last year, Mike volunteered to attend an advanced truck enforcement school, and he wasted no time in utilizing his training and gives Monee PD a new tool to control the massive increase in big truck traffic through our town. In the last 6 months, Mike has cited almost 50 semi-trucks for operating on restricted village streets. That adds up to almost $13,000 in weight restriction violations. Officer Schruffler also volunteers to handle almost all of the big truck traffic crashes that occur during his shift. His knowledge base has given him the ability to identify unsafe vehicle conditions and improper paperwork, resulting in more enforcement actions. Monee has transitioned into a major trucking hub with well-documented and dramatic increases in commercial traffic. Protecting our infrastructure and keeping our residential areas safe for bicycles, walkers, and pet owners is very high on our overall mission board. As we expand our truck enforcement knowledge and implement overweight controls, it will be Officer Michael Schruffler who will be quietly and effectively leading by example and mentoring our young officers in the most importance of controlling big truck activity. As Monee PD continues to grow and transform over the next years, it is the commitment and integrity instilled in our younger officers that will carry our professional reputation and mission into the community. Officer Michael Schruffler will be at the forefront of this evolution. Thank you for what you do. Thank you.
Nice choice.
Last but not least, yes. Economic Development, Rachel Beckman. You have noticed her jump into action and started taking pictures when needed. So Rachel has been an incredible asset, jumping into support various departments with the website, social media, and her impressive photography skills. She's always readily available to capture important moments like today, whether they're planned or spontaneous. Her creativity has brought fresh energy to our website and marketing materials, elevating the quality and appeal of everything we produce. Rachel consistently brings new ideas and a clear vision to her work, completing tasks quickly and efficiently. Her promptness, reliability, and friendly demeanor do not go unnoticed. We truly appreciate all she does and the positive impact she continues to make across the board. I present Rachel Beckman.
So congratulations again to all our Crew Award winners. You are the reason that the village is doing as well as it is, and I definitely appreciate all the hard work everybody puts in. It's very commendable, so thank you. All right, next. I've got a proclamation that I would like to read from the Daughters of the American Revolution. Whereas it is a privilege and duty of the American people to commemorate the 238th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America with appropriate ceremonies and activities, and whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America designating September 17th through 23rd as Constitution Week. Now therefore I, Mayor Dr. Therese Bogues, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the Village of Monee, do hereby proclaim the week of September 17 through 23 as Constitution Week, and urge all citizens to study the Constitution and reflect on the privilege of being an American with all the rights and responsibilities which that privilege involves. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the Village of Monee to be affixed this first day of August of the year of our Lord 2025. Signed by me. Okay. Yeah, and it's a big year coming up next year with the 250th anniversary of the signing of our declaration, so yeah. Okay, next up, under my report, discussion / approval regarding the grocery tax ordinance. I know this is something that we have been going back and forth on and discussing. So I would like a motion, please, if we could, to approve the grocery tax ordinance for Monee.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Gail, I guess I'll start off. Because I've honestly been on the fence with this, back and forth. I think some important points to make sure people understand this is not a new tax. This is the state ended the grocery tax. They put it on the municipalities, and whether the municipalities wanted to continue it. But it's also part of what the municipalities get from the state in terms of revenue to help operate. So it is an important tax. And again, like I said, I've been on the fence with it. I hate to hear the word, we need to approve a tax, because I don't agree with that a lot of times. But for this particular one, I think it is important. It's important because, as when the mayor and I talked, she pointed out, and it's a valid point, we're going to other towns right now to shop in grocery stores and buy groceries, food, and all that, and we're paying the other towns that tax. So let's have ourselves set up so that when we do get that grocery store, we have an avenue to collect that revenue as well as the towns around us, and I think that's important. So I will be putting my support behind this.
And to piggyback off of that too, we do have, like Trustee Wilson had mentioned, the transient population. So we do have people other than residents coming into our town to make purchases. So it's not only based on the residents. And it is, I feel, too important to note that this does not impact any of our very vulnerable residents, because purchases made with any SNAP and other food assistance is not part of this tax. So they do not have to pay it anyway. So, roll call, please.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udress?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Ragas?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2096.
Thank you, Board. A couple other things real quick. The Will County Fair was this past weekend, and I just wanted to give a public recognition to our very own Tim Tyler of Monee, who happened to take second place in the Demolition Derby minivan, SUV, mini truck category. So kudos to Tim Tyler. I would love to be his chiropractor, because I'm sure he's going to need it. And one other, PSA here. I will not be here the Saturday of Fall Fest. I have another obligation, so I will not be at the parade. I will not be doing my usual stint at selling beer tickets. I just want everybody to know that I have a family commitment, and I have not been abducted by aliens or whatever else may, get out there. So.
As long as you're here Sunday for the unveiling.
I'm
No,
here
you're
Sunday,
fine.
For sure. Okay, so that is the end of my report. Anything clerk's report?
No report.
Okay, moving on to the administrator's reports.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. First item is the Industrial Drive Cleveland Avenue Road Reconstruction Project. And speaking of TIF, this is in TIF 5. And if you've had a chance to look along the frontage road on the east side of 57 Cleveland Avenue, running south of Basco, around the corner, and then eastward towards Governor's Highway. In fact, today I had a chance to take a look at it, and it looks awesome. The road is in, curb and gutter, sidewalk is being put in, and it's coming along, but it looks awesome. So the village has received pay request number 3 from Iroquois Paving Corporation for the above referenced project. This invoice has been reviewed by staff and Robinson Engineering, and they have found the work to be in substantial compliance with all plans and specifications. Therefore, we recommend that Iroquois Paving Corporation is entitled to payment of $1,247,015.72. In summary is below. Total earned to date, $2,678,434.49, less a 10% retention of $267,843.45, for a subtotal of $2,410,591.04. There was a previous payment made of $1,163,575.32. And today's pay request is $1,247,015.72. The board action request is a motion to approve pay request number 3 to Iroquois Paving Corporation in the amount of $247,015.72.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Udress.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Rakis.
Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Thank you, Board. Next item is the Fireman's Park, and it's a change order during Phase 1, and it's a wheelchair lift. After extensive discussions, research, and meetings with the Farnsworth Group, PSI, and the Monee Historical Society and contractors, the village is requesting a change order to address the ADA accessibility at the Creamery Building at Fireman's Park. The consensus is to replace the existing wheelchair lift with a new upgraded model. This decision was made after carefully considering both ramp and wheelchair lift options. The cost difference between the two options was minimal, but the lift was determined to be the most appropriate choice from both an operational, maintenance, and aesthetic perspective. Therefore, staff recommends moving forward with the upgraded chairlift option. Board action request is a motion to approve the ADA wheelchair accessibility change order request in the amount of $40,228.00.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
I would just add that with ADA requirements, I don't know how this got overlooked, and I would hope that it would be, any other projects in the future would be looked at with this.
Well, it wasn't overlooked, but, and I'm sure Doug can speak to it too, but the lift that's there now was a used one, and we had talked, or there had been talks of putting a ramp up, and it had to be, correct me if I'm wrong, 5% or more or less, and that would put the sidewalk or the ramp start nearly at the parking lot. So going forward, this definitely was not overlooked, but the lift that's there now wouldn't make it too many more years. So that's why to do it now in Phase 1.
I just feel somewhere the ball was dropped, but I'm glad that we're getting that rectified.
Ballpark with the ramp, every foot you go up, or every inch you go up, you go out a foot. And I see that the prices haven't gone down for a lift, so,
Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Rakis.
yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Udress.
Yes.
Thank you, Board. End of my report.
Thank you. Moving on to the officials' reports. Public Works, Trustee Horn.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And not a whole lot to report with Public Works, except, maybe this is a big thing, Public Works is getting ready for Fall Fair and getting all the systems in place, assisting with beautification of our parks as much as they can do outside of the contracted workers. Also, Public Works building is still on track. They're still working on it. It's slated to open in September. So stay tuned for that. We will have an open house for the public at some point in September or early October on that with refreshments. So the other thing I wanted to let our residents know about is a residential electronics and hazardous waste drop-off event, which will be here in Monee. And we'll put flyers out at the village halls, or the park building and the village hall, and we'll put this on our website. It will be Saturday, October 4 from 8 to 2 p.m. And to make an appointment, you have to go to willcountygreen.com, willcountygreen.com, and I believe it's going to be at the Highway Department facility, which is on Egyptian Trail? Thank you. So I believe that's where they're going to hold it, but I'm not for certain. You'll have to go on the website and make an appointment. And so this is a really good thing for us. I've been investigating this for a few years now, but electronics, of course, and household hazardous items like paints, paint thinners, etc., fertilizers, and so forth. So, again, Saturday, October 4th, Will County Green. This will be on the website and flyers at our facilities. Also, just remember, if you don't make this one, there is an electronic drop-off on the first and third Wednesday of every month from 5 to 7 in Peatone, which I believe it's right next to their police department, 201 East Main Street. So those are, but that one is only electronics. It's not hazardous waste. Finding hazardous waste drop-offs is very hard to find, so I'm happy we're having one here. End of report.
Thank you very much. Moving on to Parks and Recreation, Trustee Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor. And the reason for my cough has started back up again, it's because it's 42 degrees in here. And just in case you're wondering, Monee Fall Fest is next week from September 5th through 7th. The weekend is absolutely full of events, and please note the full schedule of all these events that were delivered in a mailer, but also can be found on the village website and all of our socials. Please note the safety measures in place this year to ensure everyone has a safe and enjoyable weekend. To start, anyone under the age of 18 must be accompanied by a parent or guardian after 6 p.m. on festival grounds. No masks are allowed, and golf carts will not be allowed on the festival grounds, but there is a designated parking for the golf carts. We thank St. Boniface New Hope Church and Monee Elementary School for allowing remote parking with a free bus shuttle to and from the fest. We're still in need of volunteers to help, and again, we always say all hands on deck, and everybody in this room, plus their spouses most times, volunteer all weekend. So if you can spare a couple hours during the weekend to please call the parks phone number at 708-534-8302 to get the list of shifts and things that might be available. And Monee Chamber of Commerce has a few openings for their 38th Annual Golf Classic outing on September 17th at Deer Creek Golf Club. It's a shotgun start with open bar dinner and raffles and awards that are planned. For info, you can call 815-258-7190 or email moneechamber@gmail.com. Also, Crete Monee 201U Education Foundation is having its third annual 5K fun run that'll take place on October 4th at Crete Monee High School. And the homecoming football game in the new stadium will be on Friday, October 3rd at 7:30 p.m. It's a celebration with food, warrior spirit, and fireworks. To register for the fun run and to see the events planned for homecoming that weekend, please visit the Crete Monee 201U website at cm201u.org. End of report.
Thank you very much. Finance, Trustee Rakis.
Thank you, Mayor. Today, applications for the property tax rebate program have been posted at the village's website and are currently being accepted by Village Hall. Will County has received and stamped the village's appropriations ordinance. The Finance Department is currently exploring new opportunities for revenue growth, including auditing of all revenue sources. This auditing will include sales tax collections, franchise agreements, and motor fuel tax rates. That is the end of my report.
Thank you very much. Economic Development, Trustee Wilson.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Under Magnify Monee Tractor Supply Company, the concrete footings are now in place and the project is on schedule. The unveiling of Princess Monee statue will be held Sunday during Fall Fest at 12 p.m. at Court Street and Governor's Highway. So make sure you're there at 12. It's limited seating, limited space, so you want to get there early to get a good seat. Economic Development Director Bill Barnes has been currently working on a couple redevelopment agreements. One we hopefully will have be able to divulge further details soon in the near future. So exciting times. And also he's going to be following up, I believe, Robert, who presented some questions, concerns about his property. So he's going to be addressing those also. I highly encourage you to visit the Village of Monee.org website to find out what's going on. It's going to be a very busy month or end of month into next month. Next 30 days are going to be a little busy, so we're going to have a lot going on. I encourage you to check in and find out what's going on. And as always, shop Monee when available. End of report, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Building Services, Trustee Henson.
Thank you, Mayor. Evening, everyone. I don't know if you've noticed, but the last several building services reports have been more informational. We tend to have a lot of questions there, and Building Services Interim Director Beckvar has been doing that, and I've encouraged him to put a little bit of info in there for certain things, and I feel it's been going pretty good. So with that, this is a friendly reminder that landscape waste, defined as grass, shrubbery, cuttings, leaves, and other materials resulting from lawn care, lawn, shrubbery, weeds, vines, and trees, when set out for Republic Services, requires any tree, shrubby waste to be bundled in a one-person manageable bundle no longer than 3 feet, or during Village of Monee branch pickup schedules, they are not to be placed on the street prior to noon the day before. And if a trash receptacle is needed, it needs to be out of public view and stored in the area prior to 7 p.m. the day of pickup. This is related to the Village of Monee Code 4-1-7. We would appreciate residents' cooperation with the regulations to help keeping the Village of Monee a pleasant and presentable place to reside. Also, as a reminder, the 2025-2026 landlord rental unit licenses, which were due for renewal on 1 July, are now overdue and or expired, which may lead to a citation being issued for noncompliance. Please contact Building Services to renew your rental licenses as soon as possible. That's at 708-534-8303. End of report.
Thank you very much. Moving on to Public Safety, Trustee Udris.
Thank you, Mayor. For our Emergency Management Agency, on August 16th, they provided traffic and pedestrian crosswalk for Gina's Motorsport Anniversary event for pedestrians crossing Route 50. EMA provided 7 units for 6.5 hours. Also that day, they went into storm mode and deployed weather spotters. They deployed 5 units for approximately 5 hours. And also on that day, EMA was called to Court Street at Eastgate for wires down. EMA was able to reroute traffic for approximately 2 hours while ComEd restored service. And on August 18th, they went into storm mode again, deployed 6 units for approximately 3 hours. And on August 24th, they were called to Monee Manhattan Road at the I-57 overpass for an accident with injuries. They deployed 2 units for traffic and were there for approximately 30 minutes. And finally, EMA took delivery of 10 pagers that will have the capability to monitor all fire departments within Will County. This brings EMA's total to 15. This greatly improves their coordination and operations, especially with our local fire department, the Monee Fire Protection District. And for our police department, Monee Police Department is proud to welcome 26-year-old Colton Pedersen of Frankfurt to the family. Colton has been selected for the September 2nd start of the Police Academy. Colton's a Lincoln Way East graduate and Dubuque College graduate, so we look forward to having him on the team. Also earlier this summer, Sergeant Dan DiPaolo graduated from the Northwestern University Staff and Command course. The 10-week course prepares leadership for the current trends in law enforcement and building for the future. Dan is Monee PD's 5th supervisor to complete this prestigious training, and now we can expect even more from him as the department grows and goes through its transition. So big congratulations to Sergeant DiPaolo. From what I understand, that is not an easy course to pass, so congratulations to him. And finally, again, as you see our officers on the street, wave to them, tell them thank you, give them a smile, because they're out there keeping it safe for us, and let them know how much you appreciate that. End of report.
Thank you. Moving on to the attorney's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple items. I was out of the country last week, but I did get an email from Ms. Sanchez indicating that the prices that we listed for purchase from Amazon were inaccurate, but I did confirm with Bill that they were accurate. So there's no action necessary. And I will emphasize to her that the contract should be signed. I mean, the prices were accurate, so I just put that on just to make sure. The second item and third item with respect to the Super 8 Quality Inn projects, I did send a redevelopment agreement to Mrs. Patel, who has an attorney now. They are reviewing it. I think they're reviewing how the payouts will work. But I will ask her where she stands on it, but she's had it for about a couple weeks, I believe. And the last item is Sanchez redevelopment agreement. That's not complete yet. It should be completed by the next board meeting. I have to talk to Mr. Batista about a few items about reimbursement, but I should have it done by next week. And that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you very much. Unfinished business, you want to keep going with that?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor.
Yeah.
If the board recalls, at the last meeting, we did open bids for 25777 South Governor's Highway. We received one bid, and I think we were asked to check the appraised value if it was, the bid was in close to the appraisal price, and it was. So I didn't draft the contract yet, but I need direction from the board if the contract should be drafted with the condition that the building has to be up within 1 year period of time. But this is the second time it's gone out for bid. If I recall correctly, the bid price is $130, and we only received one bid on the property. I would probably need a motion authorizing to draft the contract accordingly.
Can I have a motion to draft the contract
I will.
accordingly?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Rakes.
Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
No.
Trustee Udras.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Any new business, anyone? Okay, open to the public, non-agenda items.
Hello.
Hi.
Is this on? This one might be on. Can you hear me now? Okay. Billy Morgan with the Monee Historical Society. I wanted to thank you for your action on the wheelchair lift today. I appreciate all of Ruben's hard work on this. You know, my wife works in disability services, and I know that she would kill me if we had more problems with accessibility for people with disabilities or changing abilities. And the current lift is doesn't always work quite as well as we would like for it to. So this is going to change our lives to make it to make this building accessible to everybody all the time. I also wanted to let everybody know that the Fall Fest, we are going to be open during the busiest hours of Fall Fest, and we're going to have the whole building dedicated to Native American history. So as you're preparing to go and learn about Marie Bailey, or as you're coming back from just having learned about Marie Bailey, we're going to have native arrowheads. We're going to have some of the history of how the land came to be in the possession of Joseph and Marie Bailey. And so come and learn how we got our name, and either prepare or learn more from going to see the statue. So thank you so much.
Hello, Linda Marshall. I just have a couple questions. Is there a committee as the whole meeting scheduled? And I tried to find the video of the last meeting. I found the agenda on the village website, but I did see no video, and I was told several months ago that the meetings would be recorded and put on the village website. And I understand, I was told before that the meetings are held as needed. But do the residents get notified of when the meetings are gonna be held? Anybody?
If I may, ma'am? Pursuant to state law, what we're supposed to do is give 48 hours notice. And we put it on the website, and we put it outside. Committee meetings, same thing. It's 48 hours notice unless it's an emergency. But historically, we've been very, very good about posting notice as soon as we possibly can.
Okay, then I'm in error, and I admit when I'm wrong, but I have never seen it posted on the village website for a committee as a whole meeting.
Honestly, committees, we don't have that many committee meetings as a whole, maybe one or two.
I understand, but in the past, I've been told that they would be videoed at a meeting. I was told that it would be videoed and showed on the village website, because not all residents are available to make the meetings, and the residents just want to know what is going on and if there's anything crucial that they need to know about. That's just I can't speak for anybody else but myself. Also, at the last village board meeting, you mentioned demolition of a building. On the corner, of Monee Manhattan Road and Cleveland is the petrol truck stop and the BP. And across is the pilot, and
I don't think, I might have misspoke, I don't remember. That's the condemnation lawsuit probably. We're not demolishing any property at that site. We're
Okay.
looking at.
I just wanted clarity.
No,
that's
there's no
all.
demolition schedule for that, man.
Okay.
Maybe in Monee Manhattan Road, but not,
Right, I know Monee Manhattan Road,
Yeah.
the houses and whatever, but not
no
at Monee
demolition set.
Manhattan Road in Cleveland? All right, I just wanted clarification. Thank you.
Okay, next up, executive session. We will be going into executive session for 5 ILCS 120/2C. 1, appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific employee. So if I can please have a motion to end regular session.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn. Yes. Trustee Rakis.
Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Udras.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
7:57.
Thank you. May I please have a motion to end regular
So
session?
moved.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Rakis.
Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Udras.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
10:12.
Thank you. Okay, possible action to be taken after executive session. May I please have a motion to adjust the Economic Development Director's salary to $115,000?
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Udras.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Rakis.
Yes.
Thank you, Board. Secondly, may I please have a motion to pay 248 hours of sick pay to Kevin Battles?
So moved?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Udras.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Rakis.
Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Thank you. May I please have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Rakis.
Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Udras.
Yes.
10:13.
Thank you, Board.